Hello everyone, very good morning and very warm welcome once again to your favorite channel, that is StudyIQ English. My name is Praveen Mishra and we are going to start today's The Hindu analysis, that is 16th of April 2025. Okay, so what are the news, what are the headlines for us today with regard to our UPSC CSE? So the first one, kind of a good news for the Indian economy, which has been already much criticized for its inflation thing. Right? But here today, what we are going to discuss, it's about the data or the report given to us by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So what they have stated, that the prices of the food items, including the other spices from vegetables to crops, okay, they have shown a kind of a not rise in inflation. Not kind of a, actually, they haven't showed no rise into the inflation, into the prices, okay, or to the commodities used by the common masses day to day, okay. Since the last couple of quarters, this is the data which is in front of us, okay, so we can see retail inflation at its lowest since 2019. Okay, and since last couple of quarters, it hasn't increased a bit yet as well. This is what the data from the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has told us. Okay, so remember guys, what is the name of the ministry that provides us this retail inflation report? So it is the Statistics and Program Implementation once again. Okay, so what they have just marked in the report. So consumer food price inflation, in short, we call it as retail inflation. Okay, hit a 3-year low of 2.7% in March, a sharp drop from 3.75% in the previous month, according to the data from the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, that is CMIE. Now, the slowing prices come on the heels of 2 consecutive repo rate cuts, each by 25 basis points or 0.25% by the Reserve Bank of India, indicating that the central bank is more worried about the growth than inflation. Okay, so with regard to Ankit sir's current affairs video, you guys might be aware that sir took a particular current affairs video, a particular burning topic video, okay, a couple of days back, I guess 3-4 days back, in which he was discussing about RBI has cut down the inflation rate, okay, to 0.25% basis. And the very same thing, okay, the very same particular element is represented in today's newspaper, that is The Hindu. So what the Indian economy is going ahead with? The bank, that is the central bank, where is the primary focus or the primary concern? So primary focus or the primary concern is on the growth, okay, not on the inflation. So the fact is that we watch today that yes, prices are, going ahead. The prices are, inflating. Okay, the prices are, they are going up into the rise, and it is troubling the economy of the local people, of the local exchequer as well. So that's not the wrong statement even. That's absolutely correct. But the fact is, which is right now mentioned here as well, that the central bank specifically, which is going ahead with the monetary policy and everything. Okay, so the central bank is more concerned with the growth of the economy rather than just focusing or providing a single attention towards the inflation factor. But yes, ultimately, the focus is on the growth. And yeah, we have got the very good news as well. That is, since 2019, and specifically since last 2 quarters, okay, the price of the commodities that is used in our day-to-day life, from edible oils to vegetable to crops that we purchase, okay, this has not shown any such type of a price rise. Okay, and this is what the retail inflation, or the another name we have got it, that is the consumer food price inflation, has told us. Okay, so this is something to cheer about. Now, we move forward to the very interesting data as well. Okay, that what about this inflation? Is this inflation just from the rural side, or from the urban side, or both the sides? What is this all about? Is it both of them, rural, urban, or both? Or is it just rural or just urban? So let's see here. So as we can see, rural inflation came in at a lower 3.25% in March, down from 3.7% or 7.9% in February. Okay. Urban inflation increased marginally from 3.32% in February to 3.43% in March. Okay, so what is the logic here? The prices in the rural areas, they are not growing at that higher speed as compared to the prices in the urban areas. That is a but obvious by default concept. Okay, so remember guys, whenever you are dealing with the terms of economics, okay, always this will be the data. Okay, you can see here the data again. Rural inflation came in at a lower. Okay, so we can just mark out the data here. The rural inflation, they came in at a lower, that is 3.25% in March. Though you don't need to recall or remember the percentage thing. Okay, not mandatory. But the other thing, the urban one increased marginally. Though increase is there, but yes, marginally increase is there. Okay, so this is what the fact you need to remember. Okay, inflation, yes, okay, but a marginal inflation, that is, you can say it is negligible, right? And yes, the other data, Kerala had the highest inflation of 6.66%, followed by Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Assam, and Haryana. Okay, so we talk about the states which have recorded the highest amount of retail inflation. Okay, so it is Kerala, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Assam, and Haryana. Okay, and when we talk about the states which have performed, not much into that inflation thing, so it will be Delhi, Telangana. Okay, these are the two states which have shown least amount of the inflation rise. Okay, but the highest one, Kerala, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, actually Kerala, then Chhattisgarh, then Maharashtra, then Tamil Nadu, and so on. But the lowest one, okay, into the bottom list, it will be surprisingly Delhi and Telangana. Okay, so this is just the general data that we need to recall. Now, the fact is with regard to this retail inflation. What is this retail inflation all about? Okay, and how do we go ahead with this as an economic indicator? Okay, so retail inflation. Retail inflation, also known as consumer price index inflation. So guys, whenever you encounter retail inflation, make it clear that it is also known as consumer price inflation index. Okay, now it tracks the change in the retail prices of the goods along with services, that is both of them, right? So retail inflation or the consumer price index inflation looks out for the inflation in what? Only goods or only services or both? So it is both, that is goods as well as services which households purchase for their daily consumption. So it is for what? For what type of products? For what we use in our day-to-day life. Okay. So CPI is calculated for a fixed basket of goods and services that may or may not be altered by the government from time to time. So fixed basket of goods and services. That is, there are some points or some sort of fixed products along with services that are mentioned in the measurement scale of the CPI. That let's say vegetables would be there, edible oils would be there, okay, services like going to the salon, okay, or a parlor or something like that, or going ahead with the vehicle servicing, okay, cleanup services, laundry services like that. Okay, so there would be a fixed basket, okay, fixed basket of what? Goods along with services. That could be changed and could not be changed as well. And who is the authority to change the particular measures or the items into the bucket? That should be only and only the government. Which government? Obviously the central government. Okay, so change in the price index over a period of the time is referred to what? CPI based inflation or retail inflation. Okay, that is what? Consumer price index. CPI, consumer price index inflation. Generally, in short, we call it as what? Retail inflation. Okay. So another big thing. Following are few things that the CPI index interprets. What does CPI, that is the retail inflation, represents? Okay. What are the interpretations we have got through the reports? Okay, so it represents the cost of living, it represents the purchasing power of the consumer as well, then the expensiveness of the different articles that consumers buy and services that are availed, okay, by the consumers, and then the value of the Indian rupee. So these are the four parameters that is basically used by the CPI. okay, or basically to be precise, represented by the CPI. So yes, CPI also represents the value of the currency, that is Indian rupee. Okay, it also represents the purchasing power of the consumers. It also represents how much is the cost of living, obviously it does. And yes, it also represents the expensiveness of the different articles, from goods to services. Okay, so these are the four parameters that are represented through the CPI or the retail inflation. So next particular news, it's Tamil Nadu again. It's MK Stalin again, right? Well, to be very honest here, I must appreciate, and we must appreciate actually, what MK Stalin is right now going on. He is taking all the positive, I must repeat, positive actions with regard to the federal structure of the country. Though he might be having some other agendas as well, or some other activities related to the political mileage, but that's not our concern. The concern is the actions what Mr. Stalin has performed in last couple of weeks, what we can say. That is passing a resolution for the Kachativu Island related to the Indian fishermen issues, specifically the fishermen of the state of Tamil Nadu. Apart from that, he has also passed a resolution with regard to the governor's action and has moved to the Honorable Supreme Court as well, from where he got the triumph note as well, right? And now, the another one, okay, that is going ahead with the forming of a panel on the autonomy of states. When a crisis is going on, when a huge criticism is going on against the central government, that is amid run in with the central government, right? So what's the whole logic? Tamil Nadu government, what he has done, what MK Stalin has done, he has formed a particular panel which shall be led by Kurian Joseph, who is the retired judge of the Supreme Court, along with there would be two other people as well, those who are all retired bureaucrats. Okay, senior level IS officers are there. Okay, so three people would be there into the panel. Okay, one will be the retired Supreme Court judge. His name will be the Kurian Joseph. Okay, so this committee will be known as the Kurian Joseph Committee. Along with Kurian Joseph, okay, that is retired Justice Kurian Joseph, there will be two senior most IS officers as well from the cadre of Tamil Nadu itself, but now they are retired. Okay, so as you can see, justice of the Supreme Court and senior level IS officers are there into the committee. Okay, what is the name of the committee? Kurian Joseph Committee. And yes, since it is a high level committee, so obviously their investigation, their research, their analysis should also be providing us with some utmost amount of concrete information that is needed, okay, in our Indian polity. So as of now, where this particular news is targeting. So this is targeting towards an erstwhile committee that we have already discussed in one of our Hindu analysis class. Okay, that is known as Raj Mannar Committee. Okay, so he is mentioning where? He is mentioning simply towards the name of the committee, that is Raj Mannar Committee. Okay, so remember guys, okay, Raj Mannar Committee formed in 1969 by the Tamil Nadu government itself. Okay, by the then actually Madras government in the name, right? So what was the name? The name was Raj Mannar Committee. Okay, for the sake of what? For the sake of the interstate or the center-state relations only. Okay, Administrative Reforms Commission is there. Okay, Commission on the Working of the Constitution is also there. Interstate Commission is also there. But before that, it was 1969, the state of Madras, modern-day Tamil Nadu, which created the Raj Mannar Committee for the sake of providing autonomy and more of the flexibility when it comes to legislation and execution of the laws to the states, right? So the Raj Mannar Committee, okay, constituted by the then Tamil Nadu government in response to demands for greater power to the states. Established in which year? Established in the year 1969 under the chairmanship of whom? P.V. Raj Mannar, who was also the former Chief Justice of the Madras High Court. Okay, so former Chief Justice of Madras High Court, it was P.V. Raj Mannar. And this time, it is former Justice or the Judge of the Supreme Court of India, Kurian Joseph. So remember, 1969 Raj Mannar Committee, 2025 Kurian Joseph Committee. Okay, for the sake of what? For the sake of the same, that is going ahead and analyzing and researching with the autonomy of the states. Okay, transferring more of the subject into the state list that are presently into the concurrent list. So when we talk about the recommendations of the Raj Mannar Committee, what the committee recommended. Okay, so basically it created, first of all, an interstate council to address center-state relations. Okay, now there would be a question, right? Interstate council is already mentioned in the constitution. When we talk about constitution, under article 263, we do have got the interstate council there. But the committee mentioned not just the interstate council, committee mentioned the center state council as well. Okay, so establish an interstate council to address the center state relations, right? So article 263 basically deals with the establishment of interstate council. Okay, but here what Raj Mannar Committee recommended, that interstate council should be also going ahead, okay, and creating a bridge or a medium of communication between the center and states, okay, along with the governor and the chief secretaries present inside the states. Okay, there should also be a center state committee in order to strengthen the relationship between the center and the states in case there is a difference of opinion, or could be the different political parties at both the levels, that is at the center as well as the state, right? So the other functions or the other recommendations, basically make all excise duties and cesses compulsorily divisible between the union and the states. So there are still many excise duties and further of the taxes, that is cess, that is shared not between the states. Okay, collected but not shared between the states. It is solely for the purpose of the union itself. So what Raj Mannar Committee stated, no, it should be compulsorily distributed among the center as well as the states. Okay, going ahead with the equality and the equity concept as well, right? Next, some of the subjects must be transferred from the union list to the state list, that is into the 7th schedule, from examples such as mineral oil resources, that is exactly right now into the union list as well. Okay, but Raj Mannar Committee recommended that we must transfer this particular element such as mineral oil, okay, and other things, not from this, not in the union list, but keep it into the state list. Okay, so this is what they recommended. So now this brings us to the discussion of one more important thing. What is this Schedule 7? Okay, it is every now and then in our current affairs. Okay, what is this Schedule 7? How do I define this word? Schedule 7. Okay, and Schedule 7, it is having just one article in that. Okay, article what? Article 246. And according to Schedule 7 under Article 246, the legislative divisions or the legislative powers are divided between the center and the states. Okay, so it talks about 3 distinct lists. Okay, Schedule 7 talks about 3 distinct lists. Okay, list 1, it will be the union list. List 2, that is the state list. And list 3, it is the concurrent list. Okay, so in the union list, who is entitled or empowered to legislate? Only the union parliament. Okay, who can legislate? Only and only the union parliament. In state list, who can legislate? It shall be the state, but only in general conditions. General conditions as in, if there is no precedent's rule or national emergency imposed, or when Rajya Sabha has passed itself a resolution, okay, to legislate on a matter into the state list. Okay, so in general conditions, the states, they are only empowered to legislate with regard to the state lists. Okay, and then comes the concurrent list. Concurrent list as in on one particular subject mentioned in the concurrent list, the center as well as the states, they could also legislate. But in case there is a particular element here or a particular fact that is mentioned under the concurrent list, and in that particular fact, on that particular topic, the center as well as states, they both have legislated or enacted a particular law, then whose law shall prevail? Obviously, it should be that a law which is more superior shall prevail. But no, it is not like that. Okay, here the constitution has provided dominance to the center. Okay, that in case, okay, there is a particular list, okay, mentioned under the heading of the concurrent, and in that state and center, they both have legislated, then in that case, only the law passed by center must prevail. Okay, so this is what the simple thing under Article 246, Schedule 7. Okay, three lists: central list, state list, concurrent list. Okay, in the union list, that is the central, only and only the union is entitled to legislate. In the state, only states in the general conditions. Okay, what are non-general or abnormal or unavoidable conditions? President's rule, Rajya Sabha passes a resolution, national emergency, or when the states, they themselves makes request. Okay, apart from that, the concurrent one. Okay, they both can legislate, but in case they both have legislated on one single topic, then the law of the union shall prevail. Okay, so this is what the Schedule 7, Article 246 all about. And for this, Raj Mannar Committee was established in the year 1969, and this time 2025 we have got the Kurian Joseph Committee, headed by Kurian Joseph. That is, he is also the retired judge of the Honorable Supreme Court of India. So this brings us to the next topic here. Operation Chakra 5. CBI gets hold of 4 kingpins in digital arrest fraud. Well, the digital arrest concept or the digital frauds concept that we are watching on a very perpetual note these days, right? What is this digital arrest or the digital fraud? People might call you and they might be imposing themselves as a police or a judge or someone from the government authorities, right? Or the law enforcing authorities, call it. So they might tell you that your ID, your social media ID, your email ID or something like that has been used for such type of an anti-national or criminal activities, or particularly your Aadhaar card or a PAN card might have been used for such type of the criminal or anti-national activities, including money laundering or any such sort of illicit things, right? They could tell you. But in case, okay, you get the call, just remember, they are all fake, right? They will never ask you about your bank details. Okay, they will never ask you if they are real authorities. They will simply come to your place for investigation if there is any such type of anomalies happening. In case, right? Authorities, they will never, give you the video call and they will tell you, oh, आपका तो account जो है वो terrorist ने use किया था. Not possible. Okay, they won't give a word like this. Okay, so be very, conscious, be very vigilant with such type of foolish people, right? Okay. Yeah, good morning, guys. Okay, so be very vigilant. Okay, nothing such things happens. Okay, so for this, we are watching that many people, they have been fooled. Many people, they have been conned by such imposters, and for which CBI, the Central Bureau of Investigation, has launched a program, or basically a mission, okay, to hunt down these so-called imposters, going ahead with digital frauds and the very new element known as digital arrest. right? So what is the name? Please remember the name. In the whole thing, what you need to remember is the name of the mission. Okay, that is the Operation Chakra 5. Okay, that's it. What you need to understand, what is Chakra 5? It is the name of the operation of CBI, Central Bureau of Investigation, to what? For the sake of what? For the sake of hunting down the imposters. Okay, going ahead with digital arrest and other type of digital frauds. Okay, so what is the name here of the operation? Chakra 5. That's it. Okay. So the next big news. Maldives bans Israeli passport holders in resolute solidarity with Palestine. Another act of a government of a country when it comes to fight against Israel. But I would like to quote here something. I might sound like, am I showing any side of any sort of the prejudice or biasness or partiality towards a particular country or maybe a religion as well? But no, let me make a disclaimer. I'm being very factual here. I'm being very honest here without any partiality, biasness or something like that. Absolutely not. Yes, the people in Palestine, they are undergoing huge atrocities. According to the United Nations report, more than 400 lives have been gone so far in the year 2023 to 24. Thousands of people, they have been displaced. Crores and crores of the properties, they have been destroyed in Palestine. Yes, the name is Israel, the one who is doing this. But the point is it just only Israel? Was it not also the mistake or the folly of a Palestinian organization only, a particular organization that is active in Palestine, basically, that is Hamas? Was it not fault from both the lines, from both the sides? Yes, indeed it was. But yes, more violent and more aggressive is Israel. And every now and then, every single day, in each and every newspaper or the news channel, we have this news that Israeli airstrikes, Israeli military invasion, Israeli this, Israeli that happened in Gaza or in any particular city of Palestine. And this amount of people, they died or wounded or property destroyed, something like that. Yes, that's true. But is it only Palestine that is undergoing such type of atrocities or attack by a second nation? No, it's not. Or is it Israel the sole culprit there as well? No, it is not as well. If you are saying that we have this sympathy or pathos against, or not against, sorry, for the people living in Palestine as they are humans as well, then this is hypocrisy. I will call it simply the case of hypocrisy. Why you do not have such type of sympathy and pathos to the people dying in Syria? Why not Libya? Why not Afghanistan? Yes, why not in the people of Bangladesh? Why not Myanmar? Why not Sudan? Why not Nigeria? Why not Eritrea? And why not Nagorno-Karabakh? Why your humanity element is not able to watch the people, the small kids, the infants dying because of bombing or even being, murdered with knife, beheaded or killed with the help of a weapon that is known as a pistol or a gun or even a machine gun, right? Why are you not showing any sort of sympathy there? Why is your heart not milling for such people there as well? Why only Palestine? The fact is, Palestine is used as as a shoulder, okay, to fire a gun. The shoulder is of Palestine, but the agenda belongs to other organizations as well as nations, right? Just in order to disturb the normalcy and gain control into the regions of Western Asia, including the regions of Middle East, right? So we know it very well that if these nations, from Palestine to anyone, if they will raise their voice or take any sort of action against Israel, United States will consider it as one of the actions taken against itself, as US is the closest ally of Israel, specifically into the Middle East, or the type of nations that we call it as Mediterranean nations. So Israel is one such country which is having the absolute backing from whom? From the United States of America. And when you take actions against America, that means you represent that, yes, you are somewhere tilted either towards China or could be Russia as well. And this time, it's Maldives. And we know it very well, all the tilt of Maldives, all the, what we say, soft heart, soft corner of Maldives is now towards China. But make no mistake, Maldives, this time it will be difficult for any such type of littoral state into the Indian Ocean region, as the very next news what we have with us is this. A second US carrier arrives in West Asia ahead of next round of Iran talks. You guys are doing nothing but just provoking the next great war that will be the world war, right? We know it very well again that what's happening into the international stages with regard to the Iran nuclear deal in context of the joint comprehensive plan of action signed in the year 2015 between P5+1, P5 as in US, Russia, China, England, France, plus one, that is Germany, along with the other party here will be Iran. Iran allowed, or with the treaty, with the joint comprehensive plan of action, Iran said, okay, that we will let the inspectors from the International Atomic Energy Agency to come in to the soil, over the soil of Iran, and look forward with the inspection of the Iranian nuclear sites. With this, Iran Iran admitted not to enrich uranium specifically for making weapons. The deal, which got literally ended, almost ended, I must take the word, in the year 2018, when from the P5, one such nation, that is United States of America, withdrew from it. But then came the era of Joe Biden when he took the throne of the US president. He went back into the deal. And now this time it's again the very same person who withdrew America from the deal, that is Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is here back in to the picture, and now the very next week, and this time it will be happening in Israel only, that is, the talks will be going between the delegates of Iran as well as America, along with the presence of the officers from the IAEA and the delegates from the other countries as well, that is from P5 as well as Germany. And before that, this is the second time that another aircraft carrier of America has crossed the Horn of Africa and has reached near the areas of Western Asia. And this is the second such event. And in between, between all of these particular activities, amid ongoing tensions and the crisis, Maldives has now banned Israel, okay, that we are not going to admit you, okay, we will let not the Israeli tourists to come in, right? So Israeli passport holders, they are not allowed now to enter Maldives, okay. A guy who has already faced n number of criticism from the globe, okay, when it comes to the criticism of Indian Prime Minister, but yes, still not ready to understand that they are being used by the hostile intentions of China. And the next big thing, as I stated a minute back, that these guys are doing nothing but just inviting the another world war. So the three news that we need to correlate, okay, these three news here, okay, as we can see. The first news is that Maldives ban Israeli passport holders. Okay. Second news, American aircraft carrier entering the West Asia. Second such. Third news, Philippines and America to hold live fire military drills in South China Sea. Why all of these things happening all together, all at once? You're going ahead with the Iran nuclear deal. You know what's the problem into the Bay of Bengal region with regard to or in context of the country of Bangladesh? How the people in Afghanistan, they are suffering because of the Taliban's aggressive actions. Okay. Obviously, you know it very well, okay, that Israel and Palestine are in between of the war. There is a tariff war going on now between America versus rest of the globe. Russia-Ukraine crisis is going on. China's intentions in the South China Sea is very much clear. Okay, and in between, amid all of these crises, okay, US wants to have a live fire as in launch all the missiles in actual, not simulation. Where? Philippines, right? Why? Because Philippines is another closed, having a close vicinity to another littoral state, that is Taiwan, on which China is claiming to be the part of China under the One China policy. Why you need to have a military drill with Philippines amid all of these crises? Why? Just with one message to China and the Chinese alliances, that US is ready for the war. And so is American alliances are, from Canada to France to Australia to England and yes, to Israel. So guys, welcome to the 21st century. We will be the generation who will be watching World War III. So what we can see, a live fire, okay, exercise that will be participated by 14,000 soldiers. 9,000 from US side, 6,000 from Philippines side, along with other soldiers. They could be from Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and so on. 14,000 soldiers going ahead with a military drill. Call it obviously war, man. Right? You can't call it a military drill. It's basically a war. You are going ahead into the South China Sea. What do you think? China would be waiting for it. Wow. 14,000 soldiers, they're having the military drill near my boundary. That too near Taiwan. Wow. Nonsense. Right? So what is the name of the particular exercise that is ongoing? So the name of the exercise, it is once again, okay, not once again, but yeah, something very strange this time, as we can go ahead here. So it is Balikatan. Okay, what is the name of the exercise? Balikatan exercise. Happening between whom? US and Philippines militaries. From Navy to Air Force to Army and so on. Okay, what is the name? Balikatan Tanglong, for shoulder to shoulder exercise. Shoulder to shoulder exercise. Simply speaking, Balikatan exercise. Between whom? US and Philippines. Where? South China Sea. Acha. Right. Okay. So this is what you are watching on your screen. That is another wonderful festival, but this time it's not from India. It's from the other side of the border. Yep, we're not dealing with China or Pakistan or even Bangladesh. It's Nepal. Though Nepal has once again showed that it's right now into the court of China. But still, we try our best to have cordial relations with Nepal, from Arun 3 project to Raxol Kathmandu railway bridge, railway line. And apart from that, the other electricity grids we are going ahead with, or the manufacturing or construction of electricity, we are going ahead with Nepal. So we are trying our best, from the line of credit to grant in aid, from open borders to visa-free entries to the Nepalis. But still, we can see that Chinese presence inside the government of Nepal is troubling or derailing the relationships between the two countries that have been considered as, once upon a time, roti beti ka rishta, right? But still, there are some contentions happening between India and Nepal, specifically with regard to the regions of Sasta and Kalapani. But still, we are trying our best, as I stated, through the Act East policies as well, right? So here this time, the reference, as yesterday only in our city or our state of Assam, we celebrated the Rongali Bihu, okay, that is marking the Assamese New Year. So on the very same lines, okay, Nepali New Year is also celebrated, okay, and it is termed as what? Biscuit Jatra. Okay, what is this? Nepali New Year, Biscuit Jatra. Okay, that marks the Nepali New Year in Thimi, that is on the outskirts of Kathmandu. Okay, so guys, Biscuit Jatra. What is this? Nepali New Year, just like Rongali Bihu. Okay, Assamese New Year in the very same sense. Biscuit Jatra, Nepali New Year. Okay. So here we go. Sudan civil war drains life from one thriving Tuti island in the capital Sirte. So guys, there are two means like we will be having a very separate session on the Sudan civil war, as it is a very long topic to discuss. Okay. So we'll be having a separate current affairs class today, okay, where we will be dealing about the issue of Sudan and the civil war. Okay, why there is a civil war in Sudan, what is the whole story, the background, the present context, and the conclusion as well we shall discuss. Okay, but for now what you need to mark here is the two different location. Okay, the locations that could be in news. Okay, what are these two locations? So the first one is the Tuti Island. Okay, Tuti Island, where it's in Sudan, and the other wonderful location as in Khartoum. Okay, so Khartoum or the Tuti Island was once known as Khartoum Garden. Okay, so you call it as Tuti or you call it as Khartoum. They both are same, right? So Tuti Island or Khartoum Garden. Basically, they both are same. Where are they? Or where is this? Okay, it is here in the war-ridden Sudan. Not South Sudan, it is Sudan. Okay, Sudan, it is having two parts there, Sudan and South Sudan. So they both are two independent different countries, though the name is common, okay, but the countries are different. So where is Tuti Island or the Khartoum Garden? It is in Sudan only. Okay. So here we go. Elephant tramples to death two more people in Kerala. So man and wildlife conflict. It is happening again. This time, sometimes it happens that man or the humans, they kill the wildlife, and sometimes it happens that wildlife comes into revenge. And this time, unfortunately, we have lost two lives, okay, two young lives in the state of Kerala because of the elephant attack. Okay, so these are the things which I think, I don't know from when it will be that we shall not be discussing, as we'll be having a proper boundary between the wildlife and the human life. But unfortunately, these things are happening. Okay, and one such thing that is in news for us here. Okay, unfortunately, the people, they have lost their life, and the name is here that you must mark as well. That is here, that is termed as Manja Komban. Okay, please guys mark this name. What is the name? Manja Komban. It is the name given to a local elephant, okay, by the local people of the Kerala, who is considered to be really rogue, who is very aggressive and violent, and has involved in multiple attacks as well. So the terms in news, what is the term in news here? That is Manja Komban. Okay, what is Manja Komban? Basically, an elephant, a rogue elephant, present where? Present in the state of Tamil Nadu. So whenever you are encountered with the word Manja Komban, please remember Manja Komban as in a rogue elephant in the state of Tamil Nadu. Okay. Next one. Finally, Supreme Court has broke its silence and has stated that the judgments or the statements basically coming from the judiciary is really dangerous. Coming from not the Supreme Court, actually, coming from High Court. So this is where Supreme Court has now come into the action and has criticized the judges. One such judge, that is Justice Sanjay Singh, okay, what we have discussed just 2 days back, while providing a bail or hearing a bail petition of a rape accused. He said that though the accused is wrong, but the particular crime that has happened against the women was also 50% responsible for it. So what the Justice Sanjay has stated, you have also given invitation to the threat, and because of which you are also equally responsible for the crime that has happened against you. So you have been raped, and 50% of the culprit, 50% it is the culprit's mistake, and so 50% belongs to you as well. Thankfully, Justice Sanjay hasn't, imprisoned the victim as well. Thankfully, right? See, it's a shame to us. It's a big question to us that still in the 21st century, and that too into the judiciary, are we going ahead with such sort of statements? This is the second deadly statement in just the time period of 30 days. In just 30 days, this is second time such type of a statement has been, stated by Allahabad High Court judge or some High Court judge. Okay. So on 17th of March, it has happened the same, okay, when the breaking of the pajama string was considered not an attempt to rape by the judge. And this time, it is another one that is, you are also equally responsible for the crime that has happened against you. Okay, this is what judge has stated. So, for which we were waiting for a quite long for Supreme Court to come into the action and provide criticism to such sort of statements. Yes, Supreme Court took a bit of the time, but yeah, it has come to the rescue and has properly now given up the statement. Okay, that is the Allahabad High Court for insensitive observations. Okay, so Supreme Court flaws what? Plays Allahabad High Court for insensitive observations in orders. So this time it is, yes, the suo motu action. Suo motu as in doing on its own without any such proper petition. So guys, this brings the end of the session today. That is the Hindu analysis for 16th of April 2025. Thank you so much for watching. And yes, guys, please do not forget to subscribe to our StudyIQ as English channel. And yes, if you need to connect with me, you can connect with me over my Instagram and Telegram channels. Okay, so Instagram, it will be Praveen Mishra _2107, and Telegram, it will be channel that is study_with_Praveen. So wherever you wish to connect, you can connect and let me know your doubt related to your academics. Okay, and we shall discuss them in detail. And apart from that, guys, yes, please do let me know your valuable feedback into the comment section. See you soon in the next video. 12 p.m. sharp, we will be having the polity marathon class. Right, guys? So 12 p.m. live, we will be meeting again. Okay, for what? For the polity marathon class. Okay, everyone. So thank you so much for watching and see you now sharp at 12 p.m. Good day. Take care. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.